You have never lost a fight because you were weak. You lost because you showed up. The moment you open your mouth to defend, to explain, to retaliate, you have already handed them the one thing they came for. Your attention is the currency they are bankrupt without. And every single time you spend it on them, you confirm their existence matters. Stop funding the noise. Think about the last time someone came for you, a cheap shot in the group chat, a snide comment in the meeting room, a whisper that found its way back to your ears. What did you do? You felt the heat rise. Maybe you drafted a response, rehearsed the perfect comeback, or spent 3 hours dissecting their motive. That reaction, that internal theater, that was not your strength activating. That was their trap closing around you. The herd does not operate on logic. It operates on provocation. Every insult thrown your direction is a fishing line, baited with your own pride, your own need to be seen as right. And the terrifying part? You bit. You have always bitten. Because somewhere deep in your wiring, you were conditioned to believe that silence equals weakness, that non-response is surrender, that you owe the world a reaction to prove you are not affected. That conditioning is the leash. The masses did not put it on you by force. You walked into it yourself, every single time you chose to respond to someone who did not deserve the cost of your energy. Here is the mechanism no one dissects openly. When you withhold your reaction entirely, not suppress it, not delay it, but surgically remove it from the equation, you do not simply refuse to engage. You destroy the architecture of their entire psychological offensive. Understand what an aggressor, a provocateur, a manipulator fundamentally needs. They need a mirror. They throw a stone not to harm you, but to watch the ripple. The ripple is the confirmation that they exist, that they have power, that they landed something. Your agitation is their proof of life. The moment you deny them that mirror, you do not just neutralize their attack, you collapse their internal narrative entirely. This is not passivity. This is weaponized nothingness. Imagine you are in a room with someone who has built their entire social identity around rattling you, a coworker who undermines you in front of others, who takes subtle jabs dressed as jokes, who watches your face every time they speak to calibrate their next move. They are not attacking your competence. They are feeding. Every micro-expression you give them, every tightening of your jaw, every clipped response that is the meal. Now imagine you go completely dark. Not cold in the obvious, theatrical way that telegraphs effort. Dark in the way a wall is dark. You look through them, not at them. Your face carries the same expression it would hold if they were furniture. You do not smirk. You do not sigh. You respond only to what is functionally necessary, with the exact emotional register of a man reading a maintenance report. No contempt, no warmth, nothing. Watch what happens to them. Within days, their behavior will escalate. The jabs will get louder because the quiet ones stopped working. They will become louder, more erratic, almost desperate in their need to provoke something from you. And that escalation is not their power increasing, it is their framework crumbling. You have starved them past the point of strategy. They are no longer executing a plan. They are panicking inside a silence they cannot control. This is the anatomy of psychological starvation. The void you create is not empty, it is crushing. Human beings are neurologically wired to seek feedback from their environment, especially from the people they target. When that feedback loop is severed completely, the mind turns inward and begins consuming itself. The insecurities they were projecting onto you have nowhere to land. They ricochet back. The story they told themselves that you are rattled, that you care, that they have leverage begins to disintegrate without your reaction to reinforce it. You are not winning the argument. You are deleting the argument from reality, and you are making them delete themselves from your reality in the process. There is a specific quality to this detachment that separates it from avoidance. Avoidance carries anxiety. It is the energy of someone who is afraid to confront. What you are building is categorically different. It is the stillness of someone who has already concluded the verdict and found the matter beneath their continued attention. There is no fear in it. There is no suppressed rage waiting to explode. There is simply an accurate assessment. This person does not qualify for the bandwidth. That internal posture, calm, conclusive, utterly unimpressed, is what radiates off your body language without you performing a single thing. The masses can feel it. They cannot name it, but they feel it, and it terrifies them far more than any confrontation ever could, because confrontation gives them a role. Your absolute indifference strips them of every role. They become irrelevant, not because you declared them irrelevant, but because you simply stopped processing them as significant data. Most people are addicted to the idea that winning requires engagement. They believe dominance is loud, that strength announces itself. That belief belongs to the herd. The predator does not roar at the noise. The predator moves through it. Your silence is not the absence of power. Your silence is the purest expression of it. Every word you withhold is a wall they cannot breach. Every reaction you refuse to give is a resource they cannot steal. You are not ignoring them. You are erasing them. And the most brutal part of that erasure is that they feel every single moment of it. The next time you are provoked, and you will be, because the world is full of people who require your reaction to feel real, execute this with precision. Before you respond, locate the physical sensation of the provocation in your body. Feel exactly where it sits. Then make one decision. This feeling does not leave this body as a reaction. It stays here. It becomes fuel, not output. You say, only what is operationally necessary, with the vocal tone of someone finishing a routine task. No edge, no frost, nothing they can read. Let them construct their own meaning from a face that offers none. Let their imagination become their prison. You walk away having spent nothing. They walk away having lost the one thing they came for. That asymmetry, repeated consistently, is total psychological dominance without a single word of conflict. There is one domain, however, where this silence becomes even more lethal, and it has nothing to do with other people. It has everything to do with how you structure your own mind, so that the void you project outward never becomes a void that hollows you from the inside. That architecture is the next conversation.